In the business news tonight, the Barbados Private Sector Association has a new president-elect. He's former Chief Executive Officer of Lime, Alex MacDonald, who was elected at a meeting of that body this morning. Mr. MacDonald succeeds John Williams, the CEO of Cave Shepherd, who steps down from that post at the end of January after serving for the past 2.5 years when he took over from Ben Arundel. Mr. MacDonald says he's looking forward to the challenge and is hoping to put credible proposals on the table to take the Private Sector Association forward. The association is the umbrella body for the majority of business associations in Barbados. Local petroleum dealer Rubis is pressing ahead, despite the fact that a recent Fair Trading Commission ruling now means their major competitor has about 70% of the local service station market share. This is according to General Manager of Rubis, Stuart Gill. He made the comment during an event to officially launch Rubis's new Ultra-Tech ultra-low sulfur diesel at the Courtyard by Marriott. The new product is expected to provide important environmental, economic and financial benefits for Barbados. Motorists will also enjoy lower emissions and better efficiency.
Rubis's business is a lot larger than Barbados. We're in 17 markets across the wider Caribbean region, and so and in Barbados as well, our business is wider than just the retail. We have commercial fuels business, we have the LPG business, lubricants, and we have a large aviation business as well. So the share in the retail market as a result of the Sol-Exxon merger is 70-30, as you mentioned. But market forces and dynamic forces will probably come to bear to bring that into more of an equilibrium position in the future.
Local automotive dealer McInerney Quality Inc. is restructuring its operations in the face of the economic downturn. Chief Executive Officer Alex McKenzie says operational expenses, value proposition to customers, inventory and overall capital structure have to be taken into account. He says the market has been especially challenging in recent times.
McInerney's is already in the process of restructuring, and the restructuring, as I said, is not just an HR a component of HR. There is also, we are also looking at the layout of the company, our processes, and the other operating expenses like electricity. We're considering, for example, the use of solar electricity. So these are all things that we're looking at.
Let's take a look now at how stocks traded on some of the regional exchanges. In our central bank feature, Growing the Barbados Economy, the value of the foreign exchange earning sectors, the focus is on airlift and sustaining seating capacity.
I'm Shane Seeley with another in the current series of programs, Growing the Barbadian Economy, the value of the foreign exchange earning sectors. Now, our focus in this program is on airlift, a vitally important tourism component if Barbados is to reap maximum foreign exchange from its #1 money earning industry. Now, it's no secret there has been a strategic shift within the international airline industry, and one which has had some impact among the legacy carriers coming over to Barbados in the last 10 years. The need to stay alive as a result of burgeoning fuel costs and dwindling passenger traffic, among other things, has not only forced mergers among the airlines, but marginally profitable destinations have also found themselves at the mercy of some of the so-called big boys, such as American Airlines, British Airways, Air Canada, and Lufthansa. We put the question of how do we beat the odds and stay in the marketplace to the General Secretary of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, Hugh Wiley.
we need to be astute in the way that we negotiate with our airline partners from around the world. Years ago, there was, the philosophy that all you really needed to do was to open up your doors and the carriers would come. Now, there are destinations going to carriers and saying, will you fly to my country? Once that dynamic has shifted, then the carriers sit back and say, well, I'll tell you what's needed for me to fly my planes to your destination. So that dynamic has changed, and with it has changed the philosophy of how you negotiate with airlines.
A small island like Barbados, despite its size and limited financial resources, has still been able to attract new carriers and maintain its long-time airline partners through pooling of resources from within the private tourism sector.
The co-op marketing program is the best value for money for the country because it allows us more control over the messaging in the marketplace. We are able to work with the airline to make sure that the name of Barbados gets out into the market so that even if the relationship with that particular airline did not continue long term, we would have done some groundwork in terms of sensitizing people to Barbados and getting the brand awareness out into the marketplace.
Another aspect of maintaining adequate airlift to this country and so increasing the prospects of earning much needed foreign exchange is by way of what the acting president and CEO of the Barbados Tourism Authority, Urban Cumberbatch, calls a workable aviation strategy. That strategy, which can include so-called revenue guarantees, has had to be pressed into service only recently, with the decision by American Airlines not to continue flying from the JFK airport in New York to Barbados from January next year.
JetBlue have stepped up to the plate somewhat. They're a good partner. They have reduced that shortage of 50,000 seats down to 25,000. What we plan to do is talk to Caribbean Airlines, and a lot of the other players to see if we could plug that gap.
And it's mainly through marketing support for airlines that Barbados is expected to continue to stay afloat next year.
We expect to see growth out of the USA by the middle of 2014, at least 2%. The same thing for Canada and the same thing for the UK.
The CTO's Hugh Riley is also talking to carriers in Latin America, trying to solve the vexed question of intra-regional air travel, in which Barbados has a heavy vested interest, since that market accounts for a sizable portion of visitor traffic to this island.
There is a tremendous amount of interest in Latin American carriers in looking at this part of the region. So I'm saying that the solutions don't necessarily lie in dissecting the operations of two carriers within the Caribbean and trying to find the answer there, but rather seeing if the way that others are solving their particular issues can be applied to us as well.
So it would seem that despite the several unfolding strategies by international airlines and the dire need to improve and increase travel within the Caribbean, Barbados is quietly making headway to court and keep airlift capacity so vital to its #1 foreign exchange earning sector, tourism. I'm Shane Seeley with another look at the current series, Growing the Barbadian Economy, the Value of the Foreign Exchange Earning Sectors. Please also visit our website at www.centralbank.org.bb and follow us on Facebook for additional information.